So this is the Apex Legends story that I'm recording. This was a really good game, and it ended well, and everything went right, and I just want to talk about it. So I'm playing Rampart. You know, I'm a sort of a Rampart one trick. You know, I like the turret, I like Sheila, and I also have a history of playing characters that nobody else, or people think are like the lowest rated or whatever. Like in Overwatch, I'm a Torbjorn. I split my mains between Torbjorn and Pharah, and everybody hates Torb, and you know, all the pros say that Pharah is probably the worst character in the game right now. So usually when I'm streaming, I'm talking to chat even if there's nobody in there. But I think my voice also comes through the game. I can't hear them, but I think they can hear me. So I landed right for the charge tower. I don't always do that, but I wanted to get my turret as quickly as possible, just in case I couldn't find a gun. My team's running around doing their thing. You know, at this point in time, I had no idea who I was playing with or if they were what they were gonna do. This is all pretty basic. We're just going around looting. But when I'm talking to chat and I'm talking about things that are going on, I distinctly. Sometimes it seems like when I talk about where to go or what our plans are, it seems like the other team is listening. I can't, like I said, I can't hear them, but they can hear me. You know, with Rampart, you always want to try to find the light machine guns. I also grab energy just because, you know, energy is like, there's 2 light machine guns that are energy. And then also the Volt and the Hemlock are also just really good weapons in their own right. Yeah, I grab that Devotion, and then I just go double energy this game. They're kind of hanging out with me. These guys were really great to play with because, like I said, I think they could hear me and they were paying attention and they weren't being shitty about it. And they weren't just running off on their own. They were aware that we were working together. I did not take the L-Star at that time. I actually did take the L-Star this time. Okay. So I just communicate to my team that I needed a turbocharger. I usually just do that anyway, and Pathfinder responded to me. So I could tell that this team was paying attention, and that they cared, and that they were trying to win. Yeah, we were kitted up pretty well at this point, just looking for someone to fight, really. If nobody in the game shoot shot calls on like where to move to, where to rotate to, I always try to do that myself and see if my team follows me. And in this time they did. They were right on board. Pathfinder gets attacked, so we immediately circle back to try to help him. No, he knocked them down. That's what happened. Took me a moment to realize what that arc was. And then I found my turbocharger. At this point in the game, I was starting to feel real good about things. So when the ring came in on our backs, once again, I'm trying to plot a course to get us to the next ring and keep us with the enemy in front of us. By moving through this little path in the mountains, I knew we could move on to any enemies in the area, you know, with relative ease. This got a long build up. What the hell do I talk about? Here I am just looting again, looking around, looting. So I thought we could just sit here. We could take a look around. Like I said, I had no idea where anybody was. Wasn't hearing any gunfights, so there was nobody close. So it was just kind of, my Pathfinder had sniper stuff, so I thought, you know, let's take a look around. Maybe he can get some shots in. He seemed to do pretty well at getting those, engaging on the enemy in the one engagement that we had. Of course, we just sat up here for a good 2 minutes without seeing anybody or anything. At the same time, I didn't want us to move across country and get sniped at from somebody who was thinking the same thing as we were. So I was trying to keep us into the rocks, which we could easily defend. We found these people, we moved in on them. But it looked like they were really roughed up from something else, from some other engagement. So this was a really easy wipe. But even as those guys, we got rid of those guys. A plan was starting to come together to fortify this mountain pass. I don't even know if it has a name. And take it for ourselves. Take it, defend it, own it. Don't let anybody take it from us. Because fuck them, that's why. The first step to doing that is to defend the back, to make sure that nobody is following us in. I didn't expect anybody to try to take the pinged position from us, because I didn't think anybody would move up in there if they didn't have to, because that way they'd be moving closer to the ring. So this is just making sure nobody's following us, which it didn't look like. It looked like this whole section was clean. So we had the ring to our backs. We were in a really, we started to see the potential of this position. And fortune smiled on us, because the next ring was exactly where we needed it to be. Nobody could come in from behind, so which meant that they all had to come up to us. And because of this, the majority of the ring had mountains in it that nobody could get into. Their only option would be to come up through the pass that we were currently in. And since I'm a disgusting Rampart main, that meant only one thing. It meant it was time to fortify everything. And here they come, just as we expected. These guys were thinking the same thing we were. So I immediately go in with the turret, start putting some damage in the area. Of course, once you set up a defensive position, and the enemy knows that you have it, and they're not pressured to move in on it, there's not a whole lot of excitement. Most of the time, you're just waiting. You're just waiting for them to fall into your trap. And waiting, unfortunately, can get boring. We moved up to try to see if we could see anybody, maybe take some early shots. We always had the fort to fall back upon, Fort Rampart. Unfortunately, my team got a little more impatient than I did, and they moved out to engage away from our safe position. But I knew that all of our power in this play depended on staying behind the barriers with the turret. Moving out that far, it put us in the same position as the enemy. I couldn't convince my team to come back. So unfortunately, our Horizon didn't make it out of that engagement. Pathfinder came back, and then it was just the two of us. And I wanted to recover that Horizon. I wanted to, I didn't want to leave someone behind, especially after she had been so good at following instructions and sticking with us and just being of the team mentality, I hated leaving her behind. It was painful. It was painful to leave her there. And it was even more painful to think that she's probably watching my screen, just looking at me move the turret around. Also, at this point in play, I had no idea that laser there actually extends, and people can see it. I get impatient, and I think, oh, it's only a couple more seconds till they come around the corner. And once again, fortune smiles upon us as Fort Rampart is squarely inside the final ring, meaning that the only remaining enemy squad had only one option. and that was it. This is this was one of the most satisfying wins I've ever had, just because everything went right, and then it all paid off in those 2-3 seconds where I just unleashed hell with the turret. And that's my first Apex story. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, so thanks for checking out my video. If you liked it, you want to see more, I'm going to be making more of them. It's going to be me playing Apex Legends and Overwatch and maybe some other things if I do interesting things in those games. So these two songs, the songs that you're hearing in the background are from my band, The Kids Born Wrong, and we've got music on Spotify and Bandcamp and every streaming service you can think of. And we're hoping to get back to live shows pretty soon.